What is up, Dizlos? And this is the Talking Place. I'm here. It is October 29th. The month's over. It's done. It's like, a few days from Halloween. You're probably going to hear this hopefully the day before Halloween. I'm going to try and get it out, try and do something. I'm trying to record two shows here. They're both pertaining to Halloween. So, really hoping I could get it out there. We'll see. But yeah, I am here. It's always busy, all the time, general, but lately it's been particularly busy. It's been pretty crazy actually. And I'm not complaining. It's a good busy and it's been good, but here I am now, recording, finding time to record. And I was supposed to record a show with someone, but it was postponed until next week because they have an actual job and everything. So but yeah, I found the time. I was here. I was already everything set up and everything. So I figured, let me get this going. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't not have done a show. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to try and get done around the house, and it is what it is. So, but I'm sitting here now, knocking it out and trying to get something. So with that said, I want to try and do a few topics here. I'm going to split it up into two different shows. So for this show, let's talk about some movies. Let's get that out of the way. It's weird because I'm big, I'm big about movies. I'm big about stuff that I want to watch, that, physical copies of movies, forever, it's like, it's embedded in me. And, we've been on the kick for buying movies for a while now. For over a year, we got back into it. And, we always want to sit and do something, always want to try and enjoy some movie or whatever. It's hard because we have a 15-year-old and we have a 5-year-old. So the 15-year-old is very, very much in his head, in his own world, his own universe, and refuses to what's the word? Refuses to agree with stuff, to be decent to his little sister, and, always complains and argues about what we pick because we're always picking family movies, something family friendly or whatever. There's plenty family friendly stuff to enjoy, the same way that there's plenty of not family friendly stuff to enjoy. So it's like, it's always some sort of argument going on before we watch something. I would totally be on board with just me and him watching something, like, after everybody goes to bed. But then comes the whole, school waking up at 6 a.m. is not something that I don't think I'm ever going to get used to. And, it's hard. It's hard to get things going like that. And plus the wife works, most days, a little later than normal. And, it's like, what, the other days, what is it? Baseball, we have baseball practice going on. So it's like, it's really hard in general to get movies watched, and it sucks. It sucks because, that's what I like to do. I like to enjoy movies. I've always enjoyed watching movies, and, I have so many movies that I want to watch with the kids that, I've seen a while ago that I want to see again, and it's like we're stuck in this limbo where we're home and we're able to, but we can't because of timing and schedules and working and baseball. Like it's weird. I don't know. It's messed up. But with that said, I still have some stuff here that I want to talk about. Uh, there's movies that I've been putting on in the background to play, during whatever, like nobody's really watching per se, but it's like it's on and it's being played. So like I feel like that's like a little cheat that I'm doing to try and get something playing, something in the ears of the family and all that. So I feel like I'm doing good with that. There's also a few that we did wind up watching, and there's some that I've bought recently, thanks to something that I'll get into, but yeah. So first off, let me see. What I have a list. Okay, here's a list. Desktop is all crazy. So I have here's the list of movies I've been putting on in the background. I put on The Goonies a few times. That's usually my go-to. The Goonies is my go-to for October, September, October, November, around there. It's like a very fall movie. I don't think it's really Halloween, but it's very fall feeling for me. I don't know. I love putting it on. Back to the Future is another one. It's nothing to do with Halloween, but Back to the Future Day is October 21st, I think. So it's like, they just had a whole bunch of releases for the 40th anniversary. It's been 40 years since Back to the Future. So there was releases of the three movies again on Steelbook, 40th anniversary editions. And those are individual steelbooks. I think $25-$30. And then there is a trilogy set for like 45 or something. They're like regular 4Ks. They're not steelbooks. But I think the only difference, because I have the 40th anniversary I have the 35th anniversary for Back to the Future, and I have those on Steelbook and 4K. So I don't really need a reason to upgrade, except that for the 40th anniversary they have a few hours of bonus stuff that's exclusive, like new interviews and new behind this, like there's always something that is found to make things better, to make things more engaging to buy them again for anniversaries and stuff. So they did some interviews and all that, and different documentary type stuff. I'm a sucker for those things, and I like having those things, and I feel like eventually I'm gonna try and get the first movie for the 40th anniversary. That is the only one that you need to get if you want these extra 40th anniversary bonus features. Just FYI if you're doing that. But because everything that's new for the anniversary is only on the first movie. So the other movies, they're just regular from the same thing from previous installments, but it's just new packaging. So like basically what it is. But yeah, I'll probably get it eventually just to get the extra bonus features and stuff, because I love that stuff. Good time, I guess, to say for the show notes. Check out the show notes and all that good stuff. There's going to be a link in there that takes you to my blog to see where the show notes are for all the other podcasts and stuff. So if you go there, you're going to see the show notes for this episode, and I'll be putting up pictures of the different steelbooks and stuff that I have for the movies that I'm talking about, and whatever else I have here that we're discussing and all that. Maybe put some trailers for things. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't like doing it I just like putting words, for the show notes that goes into the podcast feeds, I save all the multimedia stuff for my blog. So go check that out if you're interested in that. So moving on, Addams Family. That is more of a Halloween type feel. Love the Addams Family. Huge fan of it. Like I've mentioned before, probably. We actually started watching Wednesday, so that's good. That's fun. We started watching Wednesday, the wife and I, and I think we got 2 episodes in, and I was really getting into it. The first episode, it took me a bit because I wasn't like I guess I wasn't ready for it. But I got better into it, and by the second episode I was hooked. I was ready to get into it more, and I was looking forward to it. And then Netflix found us. They caught us because we've been it's been a long time now that we've been using my sister-in-law's password, because you have to pay for Netflix, like, really. But so yeah, we got caught, and we lost access to Netflix. We've been thinking about subscribing for ourselves and doing that, but we're waiting to see if when it is we have time that we're gonna be like, okay, we really need to get Netflix back. So we're gonna do that eventually. But yeah, they cut us off, so we stopped watching Wednesday, but I bought the first season of Wednesday. Amazon had it one day for like $10 on Blu-ray for the first season of Wednesday, and I was like, yeah, why the hell not? $10. And it's been sitting here, but again, we just haven't had the time to sit and put it on. Maybe I'll pop it on tonight. We'll see. Get the Blu-ray player going in the bedroom, and the wife and I could put it on, and maybe we'll get into bed at a decent time. We'll see. It's always that. It's always time. That is what it always is about. That's always the issue. So that's what sucks. So moving on, Ghostbusters. I put it on the other day. Ghostbusters, my all-time favorite. Like, without a doubt. The original, I really like the newer ones as well. But the original is up there. It looks pretty good for 4K. I think I'm gonna start doing that. I'll start reviewing physical movies, like, how they look and stuff, in case anybody wants to jump in that. If anybody's interested in all that, I guess maybe I'll put feels out for that more when I do the actual physical movie show. And I keep teasing. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's not that I don't want to record a show all about physical movies and stuff like that. It's that I'm afraid that when I start doing it, it's gonna be a long show, because I'm not gonna shut up about it. But we'll see when it gets there. But I'll start talking about like the details of stuff for the different stuff that I watch. So Ghostbusters looks good. It looks really good. The colors pop for the for the proton streams and all that, and it's cool. It's cool to see it like that. There's still a lot of grain, because sometimes when movies upgrade to 4K from whatever, especially the older movies, it's there's always a chance that they'll clean it up like crazy considerably, and it'll look like really super good. Like I've seen some older movies from like the 90s where I've seen the 4K version of it, and it is like flawless. It looks amazing. Like there's nothing that makes it look like it is an old movie from the 90s. But then there's other ones like Ghostbusters that they look good. They look sharper and more vibrant with colors and stuff. But there's still a lot of grain going on. There's still a lot of noise that you get from the older movies. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I like grain, And, you know, it makes it feel like, you know, you're still watching a movie. You're still, you know, it's not like these days, everything's all digital. It's like, you know, the film feeling of it. And I like it. So, but Ghostbusters still has grain, and sometimes a lot more in certain scenes or whatever. But it's not like it's, you know, you're still getting an upgrade with the colors and, you know, the visuals and stuff. So it's good. And the sounds as well. Sounds is always going to be upgrade when you're, all right, a little tease for the comparison. When you are streaming versus watching a disc, I know a lot of you probably forgot what this was like, but when you put in a disc, you're getting everything. Everything is on the disc and it's loaded up, like it's turned up to like 11, you know? So everything is there, and it's like, you know, unaltered. Like you got full range of everything because it's on the disc. Everything's on the disc. When you're streaming, the whole movie is being sent over the internet, you know? So it's like you're streaming and things are getting compressed. Things are getting dulled out. So you're not going to get the best visuals, you know, the blacks, the shadows, the darker scenes and stuff. They're going to get like, you know, they're going to get muddy. You're going to see noise in them. You're going to see, you know, like stuff that is not as vibrant as it should be. The sound is always the first thing that gets chopped, that gets cut up. The sound is always going to be lacking compared to a disc. So if you're big on sound, you like sound and all that stuff, put in a physical movie. If you have a 4K of a movie, put that in and then go stream it and do side by side and see the difference. And I'm sure you'll see it or hear it or whatever. But anyway, moving on. Get off my soapbox before I stay up there. Beetlejuice. Oh shit! Said it twice. I put it out there. I put it on the other day, and you know that's one that looks great. That looks really, really good in 4K. And you know we watched it last year, and it was an awesome watch. I don't know what happened between last year and this year, but the princess was not into it as much. We have the second one. We still have not watched it. We have to watch that. I don't know if we're going to be able to, though. I put in the Alvin and the Chipmunks, Meet the Wolfman, and Meet Frankenstein. I actually have that on DVD. That's one of the only DVDs that I have on my shelf. So that gets played every Halloween time. And that's like one of my favorites. I loved that growing up. So I'm always happy to put that on. I don't even know if that's streaming anywhere. I never checked because, you know, I have the DVD, so whatever. Hocus Pocus, I put that on. Usually that is a family movie night. But like I said, time sucks. So it's like I put it on because I knew it wasn't going to be something that we could sit down and enjoy, you know, when we have so many other things to watch. So, you know, I popped that on, and that was, you know, it's Hocus Pocus. It's quintessential. You got to watch that. E.T. is another one. E.T. is it's, you know, it's a Halloween movie. It takes place on Halloween. There's a difference, right? There's a difference. Isn't there a difference in movies that are like, you know, it's a Halloween movie. It's scary or it's spooky or something, like something's going on. It's Halloweenish. But then there's movies that take place on Halloween. There's some sort of like, you know, there's different fans for different movies. Like, you know, like I put on E.T. and the, you know, the teenager was complaining like always. He was like, this is not even a Halloween movie. And to him, a Halloween movie is something that's, you know, gory or scary or something. And, you know, it's like, well, this takes place on Halloween. So it's like, you can't get more Halloween than that. Anyway, I put on E.T. Again, Princess got creeped out, and you know we didn't get to finish watching it. So that was a dud. Actually, we actually sat down to watch that. That was going to be one of our movies because we didn't watch it last year. So, but we had to turn it off. Casper, we watched Casper. That was without the teen. The teen left for that one. He did something else. He was doing something. We figured if he's doing something, I think he went to a friend's house or something. So we were like, okay, now's our chance. Let's watch Casper. So we watched Casper. Casper, it looked really good 4K. ET also looked good in 4K. By the way, for both those movies, you got some grain going on, and it's welcome. It's always up in the air for me with the older movies, but these were good. For Casper, Casper is good. It's one of my wife's favorites, so we enjoyed it. Of course, the other kid enjoyed it, the princess and the kid, but yeah. So I think that was what I've been having on. Monster House. I put on Monster House with all its weird animations. We got through that one in a few days, few sittings. It was I like Monster House. It's a cool movie. That's another one, like, Halloween, trick or treating and all that stuff, and it's dark for a kids movie, for the way I see it. I don't know. I love Steve Buscemi. He does great work in there. I love that movie. I love that guy. So he does good in the movie. It's something that it's not my first pick when I'm putting on a Halloween movie, but when I put it on and I start watching it, like, I get into it. So it's good. Monster House. I think that was it for what we've done together. There's some movies that I wanted to watch with a teenager. I wanted to watch Blade. Blade has been on the top of my list for a long time. I haven't watched it in forever. And earlier in the year, I think it was for my birthday, my wife got it for me on the Steelbook. The Steelbook came out sometime last year, or whenever. Oh man, when did that come out? The Steelbook for Blade came out in 4K back when Best Buy was still doing movies, and it was exclusive to there. I had it on my list to get it there, but at that time, I did not care for movies. I didn't care to be buying movies because we were all into streaming. I wasn't buying movies at that time. And, it came and went because, $35, $40, I don't want to, even though I love Blade and I like the Steelbook, I had it on my list to eventually get it, but I didn't want to spend that much money on it when I wasn't really collecting movies at the time. So, it came and went. Of course, how Best Buy doesn't do movies no more. Well, allegedly. We'll get into that another time because if you go search up movies, you're going to find them on Best Buy, but they're sold to third parties, the way Walmart does third parties and all that stuff. So whatever, that's a different conversation. Anyway, so I missed out on Blade originally and started getting back into movies and everything. That wasn't on the top of my list. And people were selling it brand new. For like $45, that they had it from the Best Buy days. But, actually, no, it was the Best Buy one. That was expensive. But then, there was a re-release that came out last year. And that one, was decent price. And I wanted to pick that one up, but I didn't. Again, I didn't get it. And it came and went. It was limited and it was gone. And then I had to get it from somebody. The wife got it from some guy who was selling it for $35. So yeah, got that one. It's actually, it looks good because I put it on. I wanted to watch it with the teen because, I was saving it for October because, vampires and all that stuff. It's not really a Halloween movie, but again, vampires. So, I put it on for the teen and we were watching it, and every single time I looked at him, he was on his phone. So it's like he just was not into it. He didn't care at all. He just wanted to watch Scream 2. That's what he's been into. He's been into Scream movies and he's into slashers because, he's a teenager. And that's what he wanted to watch. He was like, when are we going to watch Scream 2? All this shit. So I was like, so I told him, I was like, let's watch Blade and then we'll watch the other one, Scream 2. And always on his phone, always doing whatever. So I just shut it off and put on Scream 2. And that's what we watched. And I lost the battle. And I'll have to watch it on my own because, the teen doesn't care about good classics, So, and Scream 2 was not, it was Scream 2. It's not the original. Scream was good. Scream holds up. Scream's amazing. I think we watched that last year, me and him. But we watched Scream 2 and it's like it's not the same. It's just not the same. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do. I can't like, I can't say anything great about Scream 2 after the amazingness that is Scream 1. So I don't know. And I don't think I've ever watched any of the other ones either. Like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I ever get through them with the kid. I don't know. But yeah, there's also a bunch of other ones that I wanted to watch with him. I wanted to watch the Batman. The Batman takes place Halloween time, I think. And I wanted to watch that. Sleepy Hollow, most definitely. That's another one that I really want to watch before Halloween night. I also picked up House on Haunted Hill and 13 Ghosts. And those two are actually, well, all right, let me rewind it a little bit. So there are boutique labels, right, for physical movies. So boutique labels are basically, the places that pick up the rights to make movies, 4Ks, Blu-rays, whatever, and to like distribute them. So there's a good amount of them out there that you figure out once you start buying movies and everything. They are who are picking up the slack, I guess, when it comes to the Best Buys that are getting out of the movies, the movie game, these places, because everything was always a Best Buy exclusive when Best Buy was selling movies. So now these places are popping up here and there. They've been around for a while. One of these places is Shout Factory. Now, Shout Factory they've been around for a while, and the other day, not too long ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago, give or take, they actually got bought out by another company. This company merged Shout Factory and another company, and they do merge things. Whatever happens when you merge two companies, people got laid off and things got changed around, and a lot of people speculating that whatever Shout Factory was before is not the way they're going to be now. So, give it some time and we'll see what happens. But there's a lot of consensus in the physical movie community that Shout Factory is just not going to be what they were. They're not going to be doing movies like they were. They're not going to be selling what they had, and all that stuff. There's a sale going on right now for a lot of Shout Factory stuff, wherever you could buy them. I think Amazon has a bunch of sales that popped up. Their site has some sales, so I'll put some of that in the show notes, some of those linked up from Amazon, so you could check them out, whatever I talk about. But there was a good handful of movies from them that I've had on my list forever, and I never set the money aside to get them because it's like they're movies that I want and that I really would like to have because I really like the movies, but I would never be like, okay, let me get this because, I want to get it. But now that the possibility is there that Shout Factory is going away and there's going to be no more, options in the foreseeable future where you're going to be able to buy these movies at a decent price, now I'm buying them up. So I managed to get House on Haunted Hill and 13 Ghosts, along with Misery, Stephen King book from the 90s, with Kathy Bates. Is that who it is? So I got Misery. Misery was one that I really, I remember. I remember watching it with my mother, and it was a pretty twisted movie from what I remember. And, it's something that I have memories of watching that with my mother. So I wanted to get it and watch it again. And I look forward to checking that out. So I'm looking forward to watching that. I am looking forward to hopefully maybe getting through House on Haunted Hill and 13 Ghosts with the teen before Halloween. That's going to be a long shot, but we'll see how that works. I wanted to watch those two. I've been wanting to watch them for a few years now with him, but I haven't been able to. I was actually going to pop in the DVD of them, instead of buying them. That was before the sale and before the news of Shout Factory. But I'm glad I got the Blu-rays now. So I'm looking forward to that. I picked up, what else was it? I ordered The Lawnmower Man. Do you remember The Lawnmower Man? I think that was like the earliest I could remember of a movie portraying virtual reality, and the dangers of it. I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff in that movie whenever I rewatch it, that it's going to be a lot of telling things that are going on now, but we'll see. All these, the average cost of all these movies that I've picked up is about $10. So I'm not going crazy here, spending like $30, $40 on movies. These are all Blu-rays, and they like the average is like $10 to like $14. $13, $14. So like the average is like 10 that they cost. So I think doing pretty good here, stocking up on them. What else is it for? Let me see. I have in my cart right now, I have Escape from New York and Escape from LA, and also Serial Mom. now Escape from LA and Escape from New York, I'm partial to LA because that's the one that I watched regularly. And then after I watched that a few times and I was like really into that, then I watched Escape from New York, which actually came out first. And, I'm sure Escape from LA, Escape from New York. That is Snake Plissken, and all his glory, just being a complete badass with everything. And it's classics. I mean, classic action movies with Kurt Russell. And Serial Mom is Kathleen Turner. And if you've never watched Serial Mom, that is something. That is, this is another one that I remember watching with my mother. And there's so many movies growing up, so many that kids back then, we had no business watching these movies. And I saw it was on sale, and I was like, I know that movie. I've seen it before. Let me watch a trailer to remind myself. And it was just like, holy crap. It's basically like your typical suburban mom, very, very housewife, very like, happy, bubbly mother, and just, decides one day to, start killing people that get her upset, or that pick on her kids, or that say something bad, or, cut her off in the parking lot, or, and she just continues being bubbly about stuff. Like, it's not like, I don't know. It's a very dark comedy, and it's, I don't know. I'm looking for, I don't think the wife has ever watched it, so that should be fun. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's in the cart. I'm leaning on it. Also, I picked up The Wizard was on sale for like $11. That's another classic. The Wizard is the one with Fred Savage, where he takes his brother across country to get him to the video game tournament. And this is where this if you're unfamiliar, The Wizard is the very first Nintendo Direct ever recorded, where they featured Super Mario Brothers 3. That's where that is probably ringing bells now. It's the movie where the Power Glove was introduced, I think, or where it was featured, but it was definitely where everyone got a first look at Super Mario Brothers 3 in this movie. And, I picked that up. That one we watched a few years ago. So that was pretty fresh in our minds, I think. And I don't think I ever owned that movie. So I'm glad I picked it up. But yeah, there's that. I think I also, being on its way, it was back ordered, I think. The Man in the Iron Mask with Leonardo DiCaprio. That is a gem. I love that movie. I'm looking forward to that one. That one is one that it's been on my list for a while as well, and I want to grab that. And it was on sale too. So it's like they have a whole bunch of different movies. There's a lot of horror type movies that Shout Factory has. It's actually Scream Factory. It's like their little sub thing that they have going on. But yeah, so they have a lot of stuff available if you're interested in that. Just search up Shout Factory on Amazon, or I'll go check out the link in the show notes, and I'll have it on there. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different things on there that you could check out and see what they have available if you want to start buying some cheaper movies and start something. I think this is a good place to start. I think we'll see how it goes for whatever else I buy. I don't think I'm gonna go anymore. I think I have the ones that I really wanted, and I think I'll be all right with them. So as soon as I get this order down for that I have right now, and I'll be good. But yeah, that's about where I'm at with Halloween time movies and all that stuff. It sucks that we haven't been able to watch. That's definitely, like it hurts. but it is what it is. We cannot force more time, I mean, we just got to figure out how to get things going to get more time to relax. And I think that's a problem for a lot of people. So I don't think it's just us, is what I'm saying. But yeah, so that be that. I don't know how Halloween-y this was, but I think I talked a lot about some Halloween movies that are pretty good. I hope you enjoyed the show. Go check out the blog once again, themanthechefthedad.com. And yeah, so go check that out for the show notes and all that stuff. And then I'll catch you in the next show that I'm gonna record right now. and we'll see what it's about. So peace out. Take care of yourselves.